Hello, hello. Hi, everyone. I wanted to jump in the chat because I wanted to say hello to all of you so much, but I'm in the middle of putting things together and just uh, just excited to be back and excited to see all your names and all your little chit chat going on there. Um, uh, just love you guys, miss you guys. Dennis and I were talking about it. We drove, a lot of different places. We had a lot of stuff we had to do, a lot of family things, a lot of ministry things, and we just needed the time. But I'm very, very happy to be back, and very interesting. I'm gonna do a couple of announcements, and we're gonna dive right in. It's going to kind of be longer, I think, because of everything that's happening. And let me just tell you how it went. Tonight, Fab Four, this is, as people in the chat call it, double decker Delora Day. But tonight on Fab Four, which is over on Rumble, guys. Okay, so if you don't know and this is your first time, look in the description and you can go over on Rumble. Actually, it's rumble.com. Dennis and Delora, it says Delora the Gathering, something like that. So go over there and do that, because tonight you're not going to want to miss the show. It's very interesting. On Fab Four, the Holy Spirit, I pray about names for Fab Four, and we were on the road, and it was Wednesday, and I hear verdict does not matter. And I'm like, wait. They're like deliberating, and they say it's going to go a long time. And so what is that? And so I sent it over to the guys and I said, look, I'm just obeying God. And he said, verdict does not matter. And so I'm believing there's got to be a verdict or something's going to happen. And we'll do that on Friday, and we'll recap and we'll do the whole thing. Well, sure enough, yeah, there was a verdict last night. We're gonna break it apart, talk about it. I'm going to hit it a little bit today, but tonight on Rumble, we're going to scream that thing out there. And the other thing is, and I just want to say this, I'm thinking of doing, not sure, but if you'll do it, I'm thinking of doing a video of all of you, and as many that are watching, and as many that are in our community. I put up in a couple of different places. Let me get it. I put up my picture, and I said, my name is Delora, and I will be voting for a convicted felon this November. Who else? So what I want, and I'm probably going to announce it tonight, is I'm going to make a video of a bunch of all of you. You send me your picture and you go like this with your hand. I'm going to vote. I'm just a picture. Like I'm raising my hand. I'm voting for Trump. I'm voting for a convicted felon. And I think I'm going to try to get it to him. So I'll say more about it tonight. This is just something that passed by as I was preparing for this and praying today. So I will just come on over to Rumble, and I will talk about it more tonight. Okay. So that's tonight over at Rumble. Sunday night, the Gathering at Solomon's Porch. That's our online church service. Same channel on Rumble, 6 p.m. Sunday night. Oh boy. What a show we got there. What a service, I should say. All right. Last but not least, Jenna sent me over this top. I love it. Look at this. It's like pinned here, and the pocket, it's just, and it's, I don't know, it's just got a little edge to it. Very, very roomy. And they come in small, medium, or large, extra large. If you're bigger than an extra large, my friends, you can size down and fit in this. It's supposed to fit roomy and comfy. I wear it all the time. I've already washed this once. I just love this top. I got it before I left and I couldn't wear it. So this is it now. She also sent over, we got another few of these in. They don't last long. So she tries to get as many as she can, Jenna. This is a Psalm 91 necklace with the jewel, the white little marble stone and the jewel, and then the angel's wing and the Psalm 91. So if you want, it's 30 inches, just put over your head. No fussing with it. you can get this. Saturday steals are going on right now. So it's 10% off the whole website, joyandcountry.com. This is a fundraiser for those of you that don't know. This is one of the ways we're able to do the gathering, which is we got a lot, probably going to make some announcements Sunday night on Solomon's Porch. But anyway, this is great. These are great. Not sure how long they'll last. Don't get mad if they don't last, but you got to get those. Again, 10% off the whole site until tomorrow night at midnight. Take advantage of that. Maybe get a Father's Day gift. There's a coupon code on the website. And first timers, you get another 10% with the code WELCOME10 if you've never bought before. And always remember, free shipping. So it doesn't matter how much this costs. This is what you pay. You don't pay an extra $6 or $7 or $8 to ship, ever. It's always free shipping. Okay, so that's cool. Got that done. All right, so let me explain to you what happened. I got that information from the Holy Spirit on Wednesday. Came up with Fab 4, and then different situations happened in mainstream media this week, in personal situations, talking to people. We counsel people, and certain things came up. And then I knew I had to do gaslighting. Now, a lot of people don't know what gaslighting is, but it's something that we all should be aware of, and why I'm doing it. Okay, I'm going to go into what's happening with the mainstream media, but let me just lay this out for you. As a friend for people I know, as a minister, as a mom and dad, Dennis, as being a sibling to our siblings, there are landmines that we are always dealing with. And if you're anything like we are, and maybe you're not, but let me just tell you how we are. We're always looking at ourselves. So if something happens, this is personally now, not in mainstream media. I'm going to hit that in a minute. But personally, we always take it on ourselves. Like, what did we do? Why did that happen? What could we have done differently? What could we? And sometimes that's always healthy to look to yourself, because you're really the only one you can fix. But what is important is not to take on something when someone has specifically done something to you that is not true or is done to get a response from you that they want but is erroneous. Okay? This is why I'm doing this now. I'm not going to read that Forbidden Planet, but it's very funny. Okay. Let me just make a disclaimer. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a psychologist. I'm not a therapist. Although being in pastoral ministry for as long as we have, and being a minister and working with thousands upon thousands of people in our lifetime, we're actually psychologists, therapists, being a mom, cook, taxi driver, you're everything. Okay. But I don't profess to have all the answers. At the questions at the end, I'll do my best to answer them. I'm not perfect. I will say things you may not agree with. That should be okay with you. A lot of you say things that I don't agree with, and I love you anyway. I and Dennis believe that every show we do should be a safe place to be able to say what you want without having someone ban you, throw you off. We don't agree. You're wrong. It needs to be a safe place, because as people sojourning this world, as believers, many of us are, we need to realize that there's got to be places we can go that can help us navigate our personal lives with our kids, with our siblings, with our spouses, with mainstream media, with our churches. this, we've tried as hard as we can, and that's why I'm doing it on gaslighting, to make this place, this environment, that place for you. Okay. I'm doing it to help you understand what's going on in the world around you personally and in the media, in the world, in other countries, in Washington, D.C. But for those that after we get through this and they realize, wait a minute, I've been a victim of gaslighting. I've been gaslit. We all know what goes on in the mainstream media. Even truthers gaslight. So, and I'm going to go through each one, but I'm doing this so that mainly, and I mean this, for those of you in your life that have been gaslit and don't even realize it, or are victims of gaslighting. It could be from your parents, could be from your kids, could be, who knows where it's coming from in your personal life. But you need to be affirmed. You need to be affirmed, and you need to realize, yes, we make mistakes, but you need to know that if you're trying your best and you're doing your best, no one deserves gaslighting. It's very real and it's very damaging to the person who is being gaslit. And many times they don't even know it's happening. Last night, you know what? Let me wait. I'll wait a second. Let me do this. Gaslighting is a form of psychological abuse. It's where one person causes the other to question their sanity, question memories that they remember, a perception of reality. People who experience gaslighting feel confused. They get anxious. They're unable to trust themselves. They start questioning themselves. The term gaslighting actually happened in 1944. There's a movie, Charles Boyer and Ingrid Bergman. If you can watch it, you really should. It's called Gaslight. It's about a husband who manipulates his wife into thinking she's crazy. There's a lot of gaslighting that's going on, mainstream media. If you watched anything last night and you saw Alvin Bragg come forward with a press conference, there were reporters there. They were planted. They were plants. It was throwing gas on everything, gaslighting everything. He was not telling the truth. He was then what really did it. And Dennis and I actually started laughing is when one reporter, here they're supposed to be saying, Prosecutor Bragg, why do you feel that the jury made trying to really get some truth out. No, one reporter actually said, I'm so impressed because it's been the prosecution and you, Mr. Bragg, and your team has been called flawless in your presentation of all of the facts. How do you feel about being called flawless? Are you kidding me? Look, mainstream media, and I'm going to get to truthers, believe me. Mainstream media for decades, guys, you may have not realized it. I was watching it, have been gaslighting every night on TV, and you get gaslit and gaslit and gaslit. Now you have to understand, some people 20 years ago, 15 years ago, Fox News was great. No, they weren't. They were on this side, gaslighting you and divide you from that side, who's gaslighting you and divide you from that side. No. Anyone that takes a side and does not realize that it's about we the people, no matter what you believe. If you agree, don't agree, it doesn't matter. We need to join arms for the sake of freedom. That's why when people talk about truth and they say normies, that word drives me crazy. You have labeled people just like we're labeled conspiracy theorists. Don't do it. Don't do it. Okay, I'm going to show you a short clip. And This is, I edited this. Okay. This is from, I think, last week. But it shows it perfectly what I'm talking about.
You mentioned he was asked yesterday about these inflation numbers. Let's take a listen to his response.
Thank you, Mr. President. Last month, you predicted the Federal Reserve would cut interest rates thanks to falling inflation. But today, data showed that inflation rose more than expected for the third straight month. So how concerned are you about the fight against inflation stalling? And do you stand by your prediction for a rate cut?
Well, I do stand by my prediction that before the year is out to be a rate cut. This may delay it a month or so. I'm not sure of that. We don't know what the Fed is going to do for certain. But look, we have dramatically reduced inflation from 9% down to close to 3%. We're in a situation where we're better situated than we were when we took office, where inflation was skyrocketing. And we have a plan to deal with it, whereas my opposition talks about two things. They just want to cut taxes for the wealthy and raise taxes on other people. And so I think they have no plan. Our plan is one I think is still sustainable.
Is that inflation today is about 40% of what it was when Joe Biden took office. And so the inflation rates are down and people's incomes are up. Not what they may hear on social media. One of the focus group people talked about social media and the misrepresentation, disinformation, all of those things are out there, and that's the battle that we have to fight, and we've got to do a better job of fighting it more effectively.
So I'll validate that. I think the disinformation out there is distorting the entire process. I think social media doesn't help. But there's also a lack of validation that these voters feel. And I'm going to bring in Andrew Ross Sorkin right now because we just got breaking news. The consumer price index increased at a faster than expected pace last month, a signal that inflation remains stubbornly high.
And this has been their line, blaming disinformation for what people are able to experience in their own lives. I mean, $445 more per month for your groceries. Now we have actually, in some instances, wages surpassing the inflation rate, but you may have already been behind from previous inflation in the past that your wages didn't catch up to.
Yeah, okay, right there. Now, look, you will hear tonight more. I'm not going to go down a road here because I really want to discuss gaslighting. It's important for people, their own lives. But here's the thing. Last night and what is happening now is probably the best thing that could have ever happened in the history of the last 8 years. He is now a convicted felon. The amount of people that relate to him now, what they've done is they've taken him from an out of touch billionaire and brought him down to all of us. That's what they've done. It's almost like when Satan crucified Christ. And then when he was up there, he said, "It is finished." And then the devil went, "Uh-oh." That's what's happening. It's the Haman reversal. I'm going to go into this tonight. So many things. But what you just saw, they changed the focus of the discussion. They refuse to see reality. They make people who disagree doubt themselves. Denial. They refuse to see inflation that is high. Did you hear that? Diverting. They're about to change the focus of the discussion. So how does gaslighting work and why do they do it? It's a method to gain control over someone else. In the case of mainstream media, it's the way to gain control over masses of people. And it creates group think. if there's anything I despise more than gaslighting, it's groupthink. So what is it? It's a practice of thinking or making decisions as a group because you've been programmed to make that decision. You've been gaslit to make that decision. Groupthink discourages individual freedom. It discourages creativity. That's the groupthink. There's many prophets that groupthink. You think like them or you get banned. There's many truthers groupthink. You think like them or you get banned. Groupthink and gaslighting are probably the two biggest enemies to health, mental health, emotional health, and our country's health. Mainstream media breaks down over time, takes time, your trust in or in a person or a way to think. Now, for example, Mr. T, if you stop people on the street, they're all over. They do this all the time. Why do you not like him? What is about him? They don't have an answer. They don't even realize they're brainwashed. They literally have been brainwashed. They no longer trust their own instinct. They trust them to know better. The term conspiracy theorist is gaslighting. The CIA first used that term to present someone who's crazed, unhinged, wear a tinfoil hat. The mainstream media gaslit the world with that term. So anyone who doesn't fall in line with what they want you to think, what they want you to say, how they want you to be, how they want you to live, if you don't, you're a conspiracy theorist. Where else does gaslighting occur? It's going to be one. You guys are going to I'm going to lose some people, but it's okay. That's okay. Right now, workplace. Usually it's someone in power over you. And what they do as they are a supervisor or superior to the subordinates in their workplace. They undermine the subordinates' fears or perspectives. They direct negativity toward them. Listen, gaslighting in the workplace is very prevalent. It's everywhere. It's knowing that they don't want the best for you, your boss. They want to put you down. Most of the time, it's because they're so insecure and you're very capable of your job. That's when this happens the most. But let me hit a place that really hits most of us, and that's the local church. Whether your church is 30 people or 30,000 people, gaslighting in the local church amongst pastors, deacons, elders is, I wish I could say it was rare, but it is not. Some churches still refuse to believe that there are issues that can occur in a marriage, issues that can occur in a family or even a workplace, like I said, or in church where there might be a problem. In my past, I've seen many, and I've been in this since in my early 30s. I've been in church leadership in some form. Ministers deny they're in pain, not wanting the congregation to know they're human. They act like the kids are dressed perfectly. They're dressed perfectly. Everything in their home is perfect. And he's got adultery on his mind. And he's probably, who knows what's happening? Who knows what's going on? They hide their withered hand, where if they exposed it, the congregation and those that love them would help them heal. They pretend that they're strong when they're weak. They don't want to look or sound weak because it'll seem like they have no faith in God, or they've fallen into regret or pain or humanness. They're not human. I always say, if you watch us, our church service on Sunday night, Solomon's Porch on Rumble, we are you. We are you. We just have a different calling. That's all. God gave us a specific calling. But we are you. We're people. I mess up all the time. Ugh. I say things I wish I didn't say. Sometimes I get off here and I go, oh, why did I say that? It doesn't matter. You guys mess up. You say things. You write to me. We're in this together. Hello? We're in this together. Okay? Jesus himself wept and said, Father, take this from me. He came on this earth as a man, and some of his man was having a very difficult time with what he had to do. A very dear friend of mine who's no longer on this side of heaven, that I worked with very closely, said to me many times, she would come into my office and I would say things to her because I could sense things. And I would say, what is going on? I can see it. Do you want to talk? And she would say, no, I can't. I said, please, just speak your heart. I can't. I don't want to cry. See, because you're not supposed to cry. You're supposed to be strong. Like crying is a form of weakness. She was trained in the church body that if you cry, you're weak. Like I said, Jesus wept. How did the body of Christ get here? Gaslighting. Leaders, just like church members, can lack the emotional maturity to take accountability for their actions. They won't take accountability. Most I know, and I don't know everybody, but the ones I know and I've met through ministry and those you watch online, many of them, and those that we've known in the past and they don't take accountability. If someone comes into their office and says, you said this and this, it really hurt me. I don't know what you meant. I don't know many that would say, I'm so sorry. I didn't realize that would affect you like that. Can we pray? Please accept my apology. That doesn't happen. You see, they're up there. We're up here. That's who we are. So you can't touch us. I despise that. Despise it. To save face or seek approval of others, some gaslight these members into believing their concerns are invalid or unnecessary. What should a Christian do if a church leader gaslights them? Let me give you the definition of gaslighting again. I'm going to read it. Psychological manipulation of a person, usually over an extended period of time, that causes the victim to question the validity of their own thoughts, perception of reality, memories, and typically leads to confusion, loss of confidence, and self-esteem, and uncertainty of one's emotional or mental stability, which creates a dependency on the perpetrator. Do you understand? Look, I counsel people that I've known for many years. They still call me. People that Dennis and I counseled in the church we were in for decades. They still ask. They still call. They still, and if I can, I give them time. If Dennis can, he gives them time. People have gone in to offices and bared their heart. And the pastor did something really wrong. And they twist it, so they turn it on the person. This is really unbelievable, that they're disloyal. See, they're disloyal for questioning them. There are people that are on live stream that will tell you you cannot question who they are. You can't question if they're called an apostle, prophet, pastor, evangelist, or teacher, fivefold ministry. You're not allowed to question them. Who are you? Shut it off. Okay? Shut it off. Truthers. Tons of truthers out there. They minimize what you're feeling. They're calling it trivial. There's some that scream at you if you ask them a question. Turn them off. Turn them off. Cut. See this right here? This represents money. There's a Visa credit card. You're cutting that off. Okay? Cut them off. Don't give them money. Don't buy their stuff. Don't give them donations. Right now, you know who you're going to give a donation to? Let me tell you. Not me. Go give it to Trump. Go give Mr. T your donations. I think he had like $40 million in last night for donations. Give him money that he can have all kinds of ads everywhere to bring the truth out. I'm sorry. I went off script. Look, an overseer in maybe your church denies the conversation ever happened. They deny it. They'll minimize what you're feeling as trivial. You're in the flesh. You're in the flesh. You're not submitted. Problem is, church hurts are so painful, and I'm going to move on. The church hurts are so painful because those are the people you trust. You trusted them with your life. You trusted them with your deepest insecurities. You trusted them with your sin. You trusted them. And because you trusted them, you believed they were your friend. You could never act like that. Sadly, most churches are riddled with toxic emotional dynamics. If the leadership plays the game of being perfect, being in the place of God, using manipulation to get you to second guess yourself, it's very, very disturbing to me and very disturbing to my husband. Again, we hear so many people on YouTube, on Rumble, on TV. You can't question them. Will you question them? You question me? You can't do that. They hear from God. You don't hear from God. They hear from God. I actually had one say to me, never mind, not going to say it. Everybody's going to know who it is then. See, not questioning them is built into that church culture. It's basically a cult. The not questioning is built into, you all know it. You all know you can't question. So what used to happen? This is the God's honest truth. Dennis's office and my office were like lined up, people that wanted to counsel with us about other pastors, and this is what we dealt with because we love them. They're people. They're not a tither or an offering. Oh, and the bigger tithers or the bigger offerers you can get to them. You can get, let me be quiet. I'm going to get myself in trouble. So let me affirm you right now. Whether it's your workplace or the church, please hear me. Disagreeing with a leader, a pastor, a boss, whoever, is not wrong. It is how you feel. It's validated. Feelings are neither right nor wrong. They just are. Do you understand? Now, sometimes you could be, especially if you've been abused, spiritually abused, emotionally abused, your gut reactions are probably not whole. You might need, you got to get before God, pray, Speak to someone that you trust. Maybe even get counseling. I know amazing Christian counselors that, and all they do is let you stand on their shoulders to see higher so that you can feel validated. That's why I'm doing this. So you can feel affirmed. Always handle these situations the right way. Go to the person, explain yourself, but here's the problem with that. And if I tell you more times than I can count on these many, I'm telling you right now, this is what happens, because I don't shrink back. If I make a mistake and you say to me, look, you blew it. If you write to me and you know that about me, somebody will say, Delora, I don't think that's right. And I'm like, oh man, I didn't see it like that. But here's the problem when you go to that person. If that person is in church, what'll happen is they'll say, what are you talking about? I never meant that. You're imagining that. Or if you go to the pastor, I don't know what's happening. I didn't mean that. That wasn't anything directed at you. Well, but you did say it to me, and that person said you said it about me. Then what happens is they'll say, well, I was just responding because that person and others have said it. So maybe you coming here is good. Let me help you. You see what just happened? Gaslighting in personal relationships. And I've heard from so many of you, so I know this is a big one. Gaslighting in a form of emotional abuse can occur in families. When someone intentionally distorts reality and makes others doubt their own perceptions, memories, or sense of reality. Phrases like this are used. You always cause drama. You're so sensitive. I can't play your emotional games anymore. You're affecting my mental health. You're remembering things wrong. You're overly emotional. You've always been overly emotional. Everybody in the family knows you're overly emotional. And on and on and on. So let me give you this. Types of gaslighting in families. One is called the double-blind parent. Now, this is for those of you that have issues dealing with your parent or a parental figure. It's called the double-blind parent. Parents that send conflicting messages and put their children in a double bind. Doesn't matter how you respond, the parent will always be unhappy and you are punished. This happens with marriage as well. You can say to your spouse, you can say to your whatever, and it doesn't matter. There's always it's like, forgive my saying this, but you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. No matter what is said, one person in the couple will question it. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter what you do, because of with a parent, you want to connect and you want to speak to them, but what they do is they only see it as wrong because they're not capable of having that conversation and opening up. They're just not capable. And I get it. They're crippled. They're emotionally crippled. But what they do is they'll turn it on you. And then they point the finger at you. So they give you a message of what? You cannot trust yourself and you cannot trust others. But one you don't hear about a lot is parental abuse from children. Oh boy, this is a big one. Adult children gaslight their parents a lot. And you want to know why they do it? They either don't agree with you politically, they don't agree with you spiritually, they don't agree with choices you've made, they feel you're an embarrassment to them. All of these things, all of them. Adult children who gaslight their parents lack the skills of constructive and meaningful conversations. They do. That is a fact. If you're being gaslit, and I'm going to tell you how you know if you are. Some gaslighting behaviors include this, and I'm going to read them. You approach a child. You want to bare your soul. You want to connect. You want to bridge. They deny the event ever happened, even when there's evidence. They lie and contradict what you know to be true. They make you feel like you're crazy or overreacting. They call you a conspiracy theorist. They make you doubt your memory and perception. And worst of all, the way they house their words toward you, they make you feel as if all of your kids agree with them and they feel the same way. You went in trying to have a conversation to deepen the relationship, to have the time, which is not forever, the short amount of time we spend on this earth, to have a better relationship, especially if there's grandkids involved. They flip the script. You, as a parent, walk away devastated. Okay. So let's talk about how we fix all of this. Mainstream media, turn it off. There isn't one station, network that is not gaslighting you. Not one. I don't care if you say, well, this one, that one, this one. No, there's not one. Because let me tell you what they're doing. They're gaslighting you to get you angry at the other side even more. So they all want division. All of them. Republicans, Democrats, two heads of the same snake. Do you understand? They all want division. So turn it off. They're gaslighting you. The side that we believe in, most of us, they're gaslighting us. Do you understand that? They're gaslighting us. I remember, I'll never forget this. This is very interesting. When the whole thing, that we had to, that we had to wear these, remember that? When that happened, right after things started opening up, there were doctors. You really got to look up the get a background check thing. Just do it. And truthers who said that, now don't get angry at me. Don't get mad at me because you still love these people. Just telling you the truth. That snake venom was going to be put in every public water system in the United States within 6 months. Don't tell me I didn't hear that. I heard it, especially from two people. I heard it, and I heard it over, and I heard it over again. So what does Delora do in Delora's style? Gets on the phone with the public water people from many different towns. Now, these are regular rank and file people I get on the phone. The guy that's a great guy. They love the country. They love and they explain to me how it's literally impossible. Thank you, Felilia. Yes, exactly. It's literally impossible to do that across the country and to put enough in the water so that it would affect us in the billions of dollars it would cost to do that. It is impossible. But they had the answer. We have the answer for snake venom. You buy this water filter. Here it is. This will get rid of all your snake venom. You'll be healthy. You buy this water filter. It's $299. Use my code. And you went over there. You bought the water system. They make 20% every one they send. Some bought a $500 system. Hundreds of thousands of people did it. Now, what I did is looked up to people. They all bought new homes. Cash. I said when it was happening, if you've been following me, you're going to remember it. There will be no such thing as snake venom in the public water system. I bet my life on it. Didn't happen. Did it happen 2 years ago? 2.5 years ago? Anyone here that's watching? Anybody die of snake venom in your family from the water supply? Truthers, okay? You're going to lose a lot of them as soon as they can't make any more scratch. You understand? You're going to lose them. They're all of a sudden, they're not going to be around. They won't let you flip the script on them. One in particular, I know. Forget it. You got to block your ears. He's just screaming is so bad. Why scream? I had a guy on here that called me a transgender. I put him up. I said, I'm a transgender? Really? Really? You better tell my husband, my 4 kids, my 6 grandchildren, my gynecologist. You need to tell him that. Look, we got to get smarter, okay? You're being gaslit. The snake venom thing was gaslighting, put you in fear. If you questioned it, you were on their side. You were on the side of the left people. This is unbelievable. They'll change the focus of the discussion, make you doubt yourself. They'll ban you from their chat. Like I said, they'll ban you. So how do you fix a family? Let me go back to that. How do you fix a family dealing with one or more people who are gaslighting you? Is what you have to do. You have to put some space. Take some space. Kind of stay away from this situation. Make cognizant boundaries. That means make conscious boundaries that you won't allow others to cross. Let me put this up. Let me read this to you. Okay. Gaslighting red flags. All right. You apologize without knowing that you did anything wrong. There's an imbalance of power. They give you affection, then abruptly yank it away. There's one person in our community that we write back and forth all the time, and the script flips. They're together, then they're not, then they're talking, then their family's not talking, and then you got to pull yourself out of that. We love people, so we try to fix things. Don't be a fixer, okay? Concern yourself, let them work it out themselves. They assign motives to your actions that are the opposite of your intentions. When you try to explain how you feel, they're dismissive. You are overreacting or too sensitive. Most interactions leaving you feel small or ashamed. They insist it didn't happen that way, or they insist that they don't know what you're talking about. I don't know. You find yourself questioning your own beliefs and opinions. If your point of view doesn't match theirs, it's wrong. You edit every word before you speak or before you text, changing any thought that they could possibly misconstrue. My goodness, how many of you do that? How many? Me, I do that. I don't know how many of you are raising up your hands. We're all in this together, guys. I'm trying to help fix all of us. Moi included. Now I'm going to give you these. Okay, you can go back and you can then write them down. I can't go slow and have you write them down, and we'll be here forever. But here are some responses, good responses when someone is gaslighting you. Okay. I understand that we may see things differently, but my feelings are valid. I have the right to feel like I do. I know you said you didn't say that. However, I distinctly remember it, and it's concerning to me that you're trying to deny it. I'm not trying to start an argument or cause drama. I want to address the issue and find a resolution to make our relationship better. I'm bringing this up because it's important to me, and I believe it needs to be addressed for the sake of our relationship. I understand if there was a misunderstanding, but the impact of your words and actions hurt me, and we need to discuss that. My intention is not to start a fight, but to communicate openly about issues that matter to me so that we have a better relationship. I remember the event clearly, and it had a very big impact on me. It's important for me that you acknowledge what went on. We have different memories of the event. Can we try to understand each other's perspective better? My experiences and feelings are valid, and dismissing them is hurtful. Let's try to understand each other better, okay? I'm raising this issue because it concerns me, not to accuse you unfairly. I just want to talk about it. And the last one is, my feelings are valid, and that you are dismissing them as crazy is hurtful. Can't we try to communicate more openly? If you're dealing with this in your life or in your family or in your church or in your workplace, it might be a good idea to rewind the video and write down some of the responses I have that I put up. Now, I have a little short video I want you guys to watch. This was a guy on TikTok. You can take his name down. Excellent, excellent little video. Very short, but says it all.
But this, gaslighters will always avoid taking responsibility for their toxic behaviors by lying and denying, always blaming you and making you feel like you're the problem, making you question facts, your memories, and making you feel like your feelings ain't valid. But never ever let toxic people succeed in manipulating and distorting your reality. Keep your eyes open, wider than your heart.
Keep your eyes open, wider than your heart. Now, why that hit me? Because my heart is very soft. I know I come across as like, because I'm passionate. I'm an empath, very compassionate person. I cry a lot because I feel people so deeply. When he said, keep your eyes open wider than your heart, that spoke to me. I don't know if it spoke to you, because our eyes and our ears don't always deceive us, but sometimes our heart is so big and we want to fix something so much, whether it's in the media or people that disagree with us because of the media, in our own family, in our church, in our workplace, no matter where it is. If you want something to be fixed, your heart, then you follow your heart. And the problem is when you do that, you just open up and you set yourself up for a really horrible hurt that is sometimes very hard to get over. Listen, you love wholly, but you have to use wisdom in certain situations and with certain people. The important thing is we must always take accountability for our own actions. Always. We must always make sure that the accountability lies with you, though. If you walk away from a text or a phone call or where you've met with someone and you feel hurt or misunderstood, or that you feel like everybody hates you now, and you got to go back, reread the text, talk with a close person, your spouse or whoever you trust, a friend, a sibling, and show it to them. Let them affirm you, because what has happened to you if you walk away like that? You are a victim of gaslighting. Now you have some knowledge of how to deal with this going forward. Obviously, you must keep these people in your prayer life. God can change things. But at the same time, people have free will. And unless they want to acknowledge it and want to change, it's not going to happen. God cannot even change them if they do not want to change. I don't like the term, to use the term marginalizing people in your life, but for the sake of your health, you must have a boundary. You must see those people as they are, even if they're your kid, even if they're your pastor, even if they're a co-worker you love. No matter who it is, you must see them as they are, not as they were. You may have had an amazing relationship with them and you grieve that. You grieve what was. You've got to see them as they are now and just keep them in prayer when gaslighting is hitting you, that you don't get caught in that. You see, things change people. Since the whole thing in 2020 happened, politically, medically, since it all happened, people have changed. People have been put under pressure. Pressure changes people. Fear changes people. But today, gaslighting is coming from every direction, even those we want to trust, even those that are speaking the same thing we're speaking. At one point, they might flip and use gaslighting on you. You must find a safe space. If it's not here, we consider this a safe space. If you don't feel it is, find a place that is a safe space, that you feel safe in disagreeing, that you feel safe in questioning, that you feel safe. If it's not your church, find a church that is. Or join us on Sunday night, Solomon's Porch. There are other really good churches out there. Even online churches, there are good churches. You have to identify who you can trust in your own life. Christians especially don't discuss this topic hardly at all. I've never heard this discussed in a church. I've never heard this discussed by Christians online. It's vital that we stop demonizing our real feelings, and that includes gaslighting. That's it. If you have a question, if you don't, I'm going to go eat lunch. If you have a question, please put 3 question marks and ask the question. Whatever you've said, I'm sorry, I didn't get to read it. I do go back and read these. And as I read them, I stop and I pray for people because I feel their heart, just so you're aware. I don't want you to think that you put something up there and I did not see it. I spend a lot of time on this stuff. This is very important to me, and I do it for you. And myself, of course. You hear things that God gives you. Okay. How do you stop hearing the gaslighting? I cannot say what it is because I don't want to get bounced from your channel. Okay, so it's something I'm doing. Look, if it's something I'm doing, email me. Okay, ddgathering@gmail.com. And let's talk. I say this all the time when people say that. I don't make things public, unless they want it to be public. But I don't know why you would say that you get bounced from my channel unless you're completely disrespectful and a troll that is just out to get me. You'll never get bounced from my channel. So please don't couple me with other people. You stop hearing the gaslighting by either not, if you think I'm gaslighting, don't watch. That's what you do for this channel. If it's somebody in the chat, then do not read when you see their name. Don't read it. I don't know what else to tell you. That's all I can tell you. I hope that helps. Okay, I want to go back. I don't want to miss any. Yeah, let me tell you, it's not the same. Is narcissism the same as gaslighting? It's not the same, but narcissists use gaslighting. Yeah, you know what I mean? Their biggest tool is gaslighting. Thank you, Curious Tadpole. I appreciate that. Thank you, Cindy. Thank you. I thank you. Thank you, DM. You know what? I don't ever do this, and I'm doing it. I don't ever do this, but I feel, oh boy, I feel the Holy Spirit. I don't believe he's who he says he is. I believe he's part of the other side. And I don't believe he's a Christian. And if he'd like to come on my show, I'm not having anyone on my show. You guys know that. I would have a show with him because I know a lot about him behind the scenes. Be very careful. Very. Do I consider narcissistic personality disorder a demonic spiritual person? Yeah, I do. That doesn't mean that it's not learned behavior in your life as you were nurtured as a child. You understand? It can be one or the other. It can be both. My belief. Can I look into ES by Dr. Sandra Michael Energy Enhancement Systems? Sure, David. I'll tell you what, David. Can you email me that so I can take a peek at that? Okay, that would be great. Thank you. I'm open to all this stuff. My husband and daughter gaslight me all the time. I don't allow it because I'm strong-minded. What do you do to stop them in their tracks? Okay, Cynthia, go back and rewind. And I'm very serious about this. I meant this, guys. Write down what I told you. Okay? You can diffuse it. See, Cynthia, gaslighting within a family is about power. It's about them having power over you. That's what it's about. Go back and listen, write the responses down and use them. Thank you, Beth. I appreciate that. Yes, my feelings, even if I'm wrong or misunderstood, are still important. Robin, that is very, very true. That is feelings really are neither right nor wrong. Now they can be. Of course, a feeling can be a wrong feeling to have towards someone. I'm not saying that. But when you feel something deeply and you don't know what's going on, it is real. No one can tell you it's wrong. Don't you find that people who are always offended are usually offensive? Those are usually the gaslighters. Yeah, failure. Yep, you're absolutely correct. You're absolutely right. And that's about the second or third good remark you've made here. Yes, circular abuse. That's exactly what it is, Rebecca. It's circular abuse. Don't get caught in it. See, if they're going like this, you stay out here. Don't jump in and end up like that. This is what we do. We stay out here. They get mad. Ooh, they get mad. They get mad. They get mad when you know your own power. They get mad. Prayers for strength to not avoid people in dispute because I don't want their fear. Jupiter, absolutely. You many times you become who you're around. Cindy, this is raw and real. It absolutely is, Cindy. And if we don't get raw and real now, we're never going to. What we're seeing everywhere, mainstream media, everywhere around us is raw and real. Raw and real. That's what we need to be. Thank you. Okay, Laura. I told you, Laura, that to watch this, and now watch tonight. You will understand it all. Okay. Oh yeah. There's a spirit of Jezebel narcissism behind these tactics, right? Yeah. Yeah. They're based in evil manipulation. Of course. This is the problem, Rebecca. Sometimes the life that you've grown up in make you very open to a spirit that otherwise wouldn't be able to attach themselves to you. You understand? It's very woven and very intertwined. It's very hard. But yeah, yep, definitely. Yeah, okay. Get her done. Yep, just the same thing. It sure is. Forgiveness is, hold on. Forgiveness is key, of course, but how do you move on when the person is in your life daily and you can't avoid them? Okay, Jeanette. This, I did this today, mostly for people like you. I feel so deeply. And I'll tell you why. I can sense just by you saying this what you're dealing with. You can forgive, and you should always forgive. But what you don't do, Jeanette, hear me, and anyone that's in this situation, don't engage. Okay? Walk away. Walk away. Set a boundary. If they follow you, walk out of the house, take a walk. Do not engage. You must forgive them. You must. But you have to protect yourself and your heart. Because if you go down, God can no longer use you the way he needs to. Okay? I hope you understand. Nothing you did. The gaslighting in my head. How do you stop hearing it? The words in my head would, because they violate you too, bruise. I'm sorry for the misunderstanding. No problem at all, Jen. No problem at all. I'm sorry I misunderstood. Could you write to me? Write to me, ddgathering@gmail. This is a kind of a long answer. And I'll probably give you an audio back. Okay? And don't worry, okay, about anything you said at all. Don't even worry about it. Let me see what else we got here. I'm going to read all these later if it's not a question. Now seeing what is happening to me. Look at Allison, honey, listen. We're all there. Okay. Thank you for this discussion. It's very eyes-opening. I feel like sobbing because I'm now seeing that it's happening to me. Listen, sob, honey, sob. You see how quick I cry? Because of the feeling I know a lot of you are going through. Crying is healthy. What you need to do is go back, and I mean this, listen to this again and write down many of the things that I said that can help you. Okay, Allison, but I'm available. All right. Thank you for this, Delora. You gave me a name for what I feel when I interact with a specific family member. Much love. You're welcome, Brandy. Yeah, that's exactly why I did it, for people like you. Because you need to get affirmed. You know what I mean? Someone needs to validate you. I'm doing that, Brandy. I'm validating you. Go back and find the answers that I said, that how you respond. Let them be part of your vocabulary. Okay. Let me see if there's any more. Yeah, Sean, stay away. Pray and stay away. You're right. Mark, that's off topic. I don't want to go there right now, but thank you for the question. Jeanette, narcissist, a generational curse best dealt with through deliverance. It can be, but here's the problem. This is the problem. It's very difficult. Narcissism is the most difficult one, and I'll tell you why. They've got to want deliverance. You understand? Look, God can intervene, absolutely, but God's a gentleman. He gave us free will so that we could willfully love him. He didn't want robots. Yes, it can be dealt with through deliverance, but the person's got to, it's a lot easier if the person understands and wants it. Do gaslighters do it in private more than publicly? Oh, ding, 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 Cindy. 1,000,000%. 1,000,000%. Thanks, Delora. Good top. It affects us. You're welcome. Let's see. What is this one? The kids caught in gender confusion turn to each other for backup. Sane lying spirits needs much prayer. Yeah, bless you. Absolutely correct. And they're reinforced by us being gaslit by those who believe in that and making it out like we don't care for those kids. It's all a game. It's all a game. Okay, I guess that's it. You have hit my heart so deeply in a different way today. Surviving betrayal, trauma is hard. God's strength and love daily keeps you in check. Yeah. Now, let me tell you what I'm going to do. And I talked to my husband about this. I will let you know, and I will give you the link when I do it. But I'm starting a prayer group, okay? Online prayer group. So why am I starting that? I'm starting it because there are a lot of people. Jen, Renee, can you put ddgathering@gmail.com in a post, please, someone, for Jen Thurston? I'm starting a group that we can all pray for each other. I may reach out to some of you to be moderators, just for trolls and things. I will send out, please go here. Okay, if you're not subscribed, please subscribe, because I'm going to send it here, thegatheringmovement.org. And I'll give you the link and you can join. And then those that join, I'm going to send out. We need prayer. Like, there's people here that need a place to go. They need a place that I may not be on all the time. Dennis may not be on all the time, but there'll be people that we will put in place that we trust that will pray with you. Okay? So we're going to do that. So you will hear about that in the next couple of weeks. I've got to get it together. I've got to talk to Dennis. We've got to just go here and sign up. I don't want you missing it, especially if you go here, guys, a thing will pop up. Okay? Just fill that out, your name and your email address. We don't spam you. I don't ever look for nothing. You know that. But, so this is going to be good. Now, just real quick, my announcements at the end here. Tonight, you want to be on Rumble. You don't want to miss tonight. Verdict does not matter. It's going to be powerful. Okay, 6:00 on Rumble. That's on. You can go you can go in the description and you'll get the links to it. You'll see it. You'll see the links, everything. Okay. Then Sunday, the Gathering at Solomon's Porch. That's going to be a powerful show. Yeah. Wow. I only want to say the title. 6 p.m. Eastern. Joy and Country fundraiser, guys. It's one way to help us out to be able to do the gathering. Okay. Be able to do what we do. This is how we do it. Sadly, we still need to pay for groceries and heat and everything to do our gatherings. It's just the way it is. So this is called Everyday Mocha Rib Top. Very cool. Very, very cool. If I tell you it's ribbed, it's very 70s-ish. It's really, really awesome. It's got a little X at the top. It's just great. Go look it up. It's in Delora's closet and it's in the description below. Also, not sure, you guys probably cleaned these out already if I know this group. It's the Jewel and the Angel's Wing, and then it says Psalm 91. These are, we don't get many, we just get a group because they're handmade. We get what we get. So go if you want this. Again, it's in Delora, it's in the description below, or in joeyandcountry.com. Go to Delora's Closet. Always free shipping. It doesn't matter if you buy something little, you buy something big, doesn't matter. You're never going to pay shipping. And if you're the first time ever to buy anything, welcome 10 is the code. You get 10% off. And there's a big sale going on, 10% off the whole site until tomorrow at midnight. Can't wait to see you later on Fab 4. I am revved up for that show. Hope this blessed you. Hope this helped you. Go here, sign up, fill out the thing. So when we launch the prayer group, you can be part of it. And then 24 hours a day, you can ask for prayer and people will be there. Okay. Love you all. God bless you all. So happy to reconnect you again. Sorry it went so late. Now I'm getting off at 1:17. Go in the power of God. Love you. See you tonight. Ciao.